everyone, welcome to Malta. You know, the building back there, I think it's the parliament, and you can see people walking to work. It's a Wednesday, but I'm not sure if the people downstairs from where we're living knew that it's a Wednesday, because yesterday, I mean, they had a party, like serious. So I'm gonna take you through our trip here in Malta. We went around with the bus and visited a bunch of interesting places, and there was a lot of photography opportunities, so I'm gonna show you a few of those, and hopefully I'll keep this video as a memory for the future. Well, and you guys get to see this wonderful place. So the staircase behind me was one of those places where I immediately saw that I can take a wonderful black and white photo. So I told my girlfriend to walk up and down the stairs, and I just took a photograph. Actually, I took two of them because there's another staircase right behind you guys. And when the sun is just right, you have the shadow casting down the stairs. You know, and it's one of those opportunities that you just cannot miss, you know, for a good photo. And it's right here beside the Parliament building. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make this video before the tourists get here. And judging from last night's party in this town, yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any tourists today because they'll all be sleeping, except me, because I'm an early bird. Tiny but mighty berry, or budberry in short. Now, since I'm on a holiday, I kind of miss waking up in the morning because usually I have to go to my work, so I wake up at 5 o'clock. And here, well, we're staying in an apartment that has practically no windows. I mean, at least when it comes to sound and insulation. Now, it's not particularly cold now in February, so technically we have around 15 to 18 degrees centigrade. But the sound, I mean, you can hear everything that's going on outside. I mean, it just adds to the vibe of this place, and I don't regret that we got that apartment because I don't think there's any apartments that are better. Because this is a really, really old city. Happy hour, daily from 3 p.m. I mean, by the time it gets dark. Ooh. Now, in case you watched the last Jurassic World Dominion, so the third part of the new Jurassic World series, well, some of that was filmed here, actually in Valletta. And we went around and we actually found a few of those places. Here is one of them, where the Allosaurus eats a guy and, you know, Owen is racing his motorcycle and there's those dinosaurs chasing him. It's a bit different than in the movie. It's not as busy, but we were there quite early in the morning, so Alex seemed to enjoy that. He recognized the square from the movie, which is quite amazing. So yesterday we took a bus and we went to the northern part of the island. They have this touristic double-decker buses, which are kind of cliche, but honestly, everywhere we go on a bus like this that takes us around either the island or the country or the city, windy! It's always the best way, because if they are hop on and hop off buses, you can hop off anywhere you want, and then in an hour you will get another bus and you can hop back on, and you can organize your day just the way you want. So yesterday we went to the northern part. We went to see a very lovely town called Medina. It's like a medieval old town, and luckily we came there before all the tourists for the most part. And here are some photographs from that town. It's really amazing. It's behind a wall, just like here in Valletta. So there's like an ancient wall around, and the city is built inside. So it has that kind of medieval vibe. Why is it always in these old cities that there are so many cars, like everywhere? I mean, I get it. People live here, so they have to park, but we hopped on back to the bus and we went to this coastline, which is really amazing. It's called the Golden Bay, and there was waves, there was a little bit of wind, and this cafe where we got something to eat. And well, Alex was playing in the sand, and it's just so amazing to see a kid playing in the sand, and there's the sea behind him. And of course I took a few shots there as well of Alex and of my girlfriend. She doesn't like to be photographed as much, but I take the opportunity every now and then, so. And then we hopped on back to the bus and we went to the next place, which was the National Aquarium. Now, if you guys ever come to Malta and if you have kids, then that's definitely a place you should visit. It's not that expensive. Actually, the entry fee was this much. I mean, my girlfriend paid for the entry fee. I paid for the bus, which was like 23 euros per person, and Alex was 15 euros because he's a kid. And you can take this bus, as I said, whole day on every hour. And in there, you can actually see Nemo and his father searching for him. And Dory is also there, so in the same tank, which is kind of an interesting thing. They also have sharks, and they have this kind of tunnel where you go through, and sharks are swimming overhead. Delivery, so nothing but people going to work in delivery trucks. Typical. At least I don't have church bells this time around. Where was I? Oh yeah. So the aquarium, definitely worth a visit, and as I said, if you guys have kids, you must take them there. And it's very nicely built, so the building it looks kind of new and it's kind of modern, and you can get something to eat there as well. So definitely worth a stop.
I saw a shark. Look at me, just have a banana.
Oh my god. And then we just hopped on the bus, stopped at a few places more, and came back here in the evening, went out to have a party-ish, somewhat, as much as you can have with an 8-year-old kid. But the people downstairs, as I said, there was actually a bar downstairs, and they had a party on Tuesday, which is amazing. I think this city lives like every day of the week, especially I think in the summertime where there's more tourists. A very prestige hotel. Now in February, there's actually not a lot of tourists here, but in the summer, I would guess it would be more touristic and hot. I mean, the whole town is built in the Mediterranean way, so you have these kind of tall buildings made out of this orange stone, which makes the city glow, especially in the sunshine. But in the streets, there's always shadows. So I'm guessing in the summertime, it's not as hot as it would be if you were just out in the sun. But as I mentioned, this yellow rock, it gives the whole city this kind of glowing vibe. And seriously, like every photo that you take, there's always going to be the color contrast between this yellow orange and the blue sky. So it's color contrast all the way every day. So it's actually quite easy to take photographs. And if you're a street photographer, I mean, if you come here in the morning or in the evening, there's going to be a lot of street photography opportunities. I'm not a street photographer per se. I just, don't like photographing other people if they don't know, except my girlfriend, which, Now, every day at 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock, they have the battery, the guns shooting to announce the time. And this is like a 500-year-old tradition that they're keeping, because of touristic interest. And, well, they actually keep the time this way. Kind of, it's like church bells back home. And that's quite a spectacle. And if you come a little bit early, you will get a spot on the fence or somewhere so that you can see that. But then at 12 o'clock, it gets really crowded. The town itself is quite vibrant, actually. There's a whole bunch of shops, a whole bunch of restaurants and pubs. And people here speak English. They also drive on the opposite side of the road, so on the left side, which is a bit of a problem if you want to rent a car. So this is why we didn't rent a car, and the streets here are so narrow, so they're all like one-way streets, and driving a car with the wheel on the opposite side would be, I mean, that tourist bus just made more sense, to be completely honest. So if you're looking for a good night out, well, then Valletta is definitely a place to visit. 3 guys holding a dish. So this statue here sits right at the gate to Valletta, right there. And if you want to move around the country, I think the bus is the best option. It's not as expensive, it's just a few bucks, and it takes you pretty much anywhere on the island. And they also have a ferry system, so maybe we'll check that out as well in the coming days. Don't fall down. Seriously. So we also took a bus and explored the southern part of the island, and we came here to this fishing village. So amazing! I mean, so many colors with all of the boats. They all have the blue, the yellow and the red color, which really makes this whole fishing village quite vivid. In-city public transport. Okay, so Malta sits between Sicily and Tunisia, I think, for the most part. But the people here are not Italian and they're not from North Africa. Actually, the majority of the people are from the, how do you say this in English? Caucasus? Actually, the majority of people are from Caucasus. Caucasian. I don't know what the English word is actually, but you also have Arabs, Spanish, and people of course from Africa. And there's a lot of people from India actually working here. And I know that, you know, half of my audience on the channel comes from India. So there's a lot of people from India here. Now, for the most part, people here speak English, but they also have their own language called the Maltesian language, which honestly I cannot describe as to, you know, which language is similar to this, because it's a very, very special, you know, dialect, or, well, it's not a dialect, it's a language, but yeah, special. You know, but the cool thing is that wherever you go, you can find somebody who speaks English. Now, all around you will find marketplaces and little gardens with monuments and flowers and trees. You know, in a city that's built from stone, it really adds a bit of nature in, and so many beautiful photography opportunities if you want to do portrait photography, for instance. The first stroke of sun today, it is warm. Now this is like I'm wearing too much stuff on me right now. And Malta is in the European Union, so the currency is also euro. It's quite familiar to me actually. I mean, built from stone, seriously. Like the bedrock is all kind of a yellow stone. Now we're gonna go and visit some caves. This is my time here on Malta. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave that down below in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and hit the like button for the algorithm. It really does help. Anyway, I'll see you back home in Slovenia for the next video, which is probably going to be much more green than here. Everything's yellow. Bye bye.